Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, coming to you from the original Christian Whistleblower New Cosmic Knowledge Broadcast Bunker Studio. Here we are. A little bit of nostalgia, old home week. Probably our last week of broadcasting ever, ladies and gentlemen, from the original NCK studio. Glad to have you with us. A little bit of something different today. This caught my eye, and I wanted to bring it to you. I find it very fascinating. I find it very interesting because the subject that has always, for some reason, caught my eye. Researchers in the UK say that Jack the Ripper's identity may have finally been revealed and that he may have been a Polish barber, and they're presenting these claims based upon DNA evidence from the scene, ladies and gentlemen. There was a blood-covered shawl found at one of the horrific murder scenes, and it's believed to contain DNA from both the butchered victim and from the infamous serial killer. Fascinating stuff. Sorry I have to look away from the screen and read this to you. But Jack the Ripper, of course, stalked London about 130 years ago. Many now believe, these researchers especially believe, that he was a demon barber who also had the taste for human flesh, according to this new scientific evidence. Now, there's no doubt that this shawl at the murder scene, no doubt, it's generally agreed upon by investigators that this shawl found at the murder scene did contain both the blood of the victim and the blood of the infamous serial killer. And now, through the abilities that we have with our new technology, they have actually tested descendants of one of the leading suspects of the day who they could not prove a case against 130 years ago, and have found that the DNA on the shawl matches the descendants' DNA of this suspect. Researchers at Liverpool John Moores University conducted genetic tests on the sample long thought to have belonged to the Ripper himself, who they now believe to be Polish barber Aaron Kosminski. We describe, the researchers say, for the first time, systematic molecular level analysis of the only surviving physical evidence linked to the Jack the Ripper's murders. This is in the Journal of Forensic Sciences out of the UK, finding both matching profiles on the same piece of evidence enhances the statistical probability of its overall identification and reinforces the claim that the shawl is authentic. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty compelling evidence. They find both DNAs on the shawl at the scene, and it is linked to the double murder of victims 3 and 4, namely Elizabeth Stride and Eddowes, on the night of September 30th, 1888 in Whitechapel. Ms. Stride's throat had been cut, but the rest of her body had not been molested, which is very atypical from the Ripper murders, and there was conjectured that someone came upon the Ripper and caused him not to be able to finish his grisly work with the first victim, which is why he went straight from there and then attacked another woman that night. And he killed somewhere between 5 and 18 women. Again, they do believe that he was interrupted, and it was just an hour later that he butchered Miss Eddowes, tearing her apart, taking her kidney as a trophy. And of course, this is what spurned the From Hell letter, where he claimed to authorities that he had consumed the kidney of the poor woman. 5 women that we know of were definitely his victims, and they attribute some 13 others to this horrible killer. All were murdered in the most brutal fashion. Many body parts were taken. There's even stronger evidence now that they were consumed. And now, in an astonishing new article, again, in the Journal of Forensic Researches, fresh genetic evidence points to the then 23-year-old Kosminski, who was, once again, ladies and gentlemen, he was a barber. Amazing. Investigators had identified Kaminsky as their prime suspects in the killings in 1888. However, they did not have enough evidence then to solve the case. But here we are, 130 years later, and these researchers say that their new study provides the most systematic and most advanced genetic analysis to date regarding the Jack the Ripper murders. And again, it's not the first time that Kaminsky has been identified as a killer, and not the first time even through forensic evidence, because Jari, I should be able to say this, it's a hockey name, Jari Lewinhalen, a biochemist at another university in Europe, also did DNA tests and concluded that it was the same victim. I must say, however, though, the Smithsonian is weighing in against this evidence. They're saying, yeah, we see your evidence, we don't agree that it is Kaminsky. However, very compelling evidence, and it would cause us to have empathy for the victims, and would also cause us probably to feel good that we have more abilities today in solving these crimes. And we'll just send out good thoughts to the victims, their surviving family members, and hope that this can be agreed upon by authorities, and we can close a grisly chapter in in UK legal history with the identification of Jack the Ripper as a Polish barber, a demon barber, the last name of Kaminsky. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. We are the last generation of real humans, the first generation of new gods. Let's continue to ask questions. Let's continue to question answers. And I'm here tonight to challenge you, not to what you think I was going to say, but to be with us at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific, for a brand new live edition, not from the original NCK bunker, but from another undisclosed location, very, very secretive. And it'll be Jay Campbell and myself with The Last Stand tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. Be there. All the cool kids will be. And until then, keep asking questions, keep questioning answers, and remember, last generation real humans, first generation, next generation of new gods. Unindoctrinate yourself.